What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button for me, please. Let's see what's in the title. Let's get in the video.
But one of the things that keeps coming up is, did Sunny Hostin personally cost Kamala Harris the election with her question?
Oh, wow. I wish I had that much power because I would have flipped it in the other way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you see this like James Carville and all these pundits are saying it.
Look, I think it goes to show the how important this show is.
Yeah.
You know, in this country and actually internationally.
I have to laugh because normally whenever we have a big politician on and they...
Who said that this show is important, bro? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I get all these trolls on Twitter and other places saying they gave him the questions beforehand. The questions are impromptu. I'm like, well, now we have proof.
They are not.
We do not do that.
I will say this: it's interesting to me, as I do think it's just clickbait, and I think any headline that has The View mentioned or my name mentioned seems to go viral.
All right, well, let's remind people what the question was. It was, what would you have done differently?
I asked the vice president what she would do differently in a Harris administration as opposed to a Biden administration.
And what if anything, she wishes she could have done differently in the past 4 years, or whatever,
something like that.
Yeah.
I followed up because I was surprised at the answer. Look, I think it wasn't.
She's surprised at the answer. How could you be surprised at the answer, bro? Well, it's Sunny Hostin. I mean, I could understand too. Me personally, because like they say, it's not, they don't have a question before they. Like I said before, if y'all look at all my videos, I always say they just be talking. Like that's all they do is just talk.
Much about the question, but it was really more about the answer.
Not a thing comes to mind.
Not a thing comes to mind, and that's why I followed up with, is there anything that you would do differently? And the reason I followed up is because, that wasn't a gotcha question. That was a layup, really.
It was an important question, and I think one she should have expected.
That's what I thought. I actually thought it was a chance for her to explain to all the people who are saying, I want a change agent, for her to explain that, of course, she has a different lived experience from President Biden. But they did have one of the most successful administrations in our country.
That's the tricky part.
And I thought she would then say, I would build on...
expected.
That's what I thought. I actually thought it was a chance for her to explain to all the people who are saying, I want a change agent, for her to explain that, of course, she has a different lived experience from President Biden. But they did have one of the most successful administrations in our country.
Who said that? Where's that at? Because people still going through it. I'm just confused on how successful. Sunny. I told y'all this show is full of lies, bro.
And I thought she would then say, I would build on the wins that we've had. And I had a laundry list of wins in my head.
Right.
And she didn't answer it that way. She said, not a thing comes to mind. And listen, I think it goes to show you how loyal she was.
Oh, come on, bro.
Who gave her the opportunity to run for president, who chose her as his vice president. And
nothing comes to mind, bro. Because that just goes to show you the world seeing that Kamala, who basically Kamala was, for having that question. They wasn't expecting that question. They're saying that they didn't have, honestly, when you had a president, somebody that's running, they had the vice president. Obviously, I know for a fact, y'all know Kamala herself, when we was talking about, people in her ear and asking her this and like her whole, her little campaign manager, this, that, and the other in her ear, they had these questions. Me personally, for that episode, I feel like they did. And I feel like Sunny, her being her, asked that question and Kamala couldn't give an answer. You know what I mean? And that's how that happened. Now, me personally, Kamala can't say, oh, yeah, she was loyal. She's loyal to Biden, so she didn't. No, the world's seen Kamala for who she, and I feel like, honestly, a lot of people don't watch The View, but they seen it a lot of other places. They seen it a lot of other places. Then when they start, dang, she couldn't say nothing else. And it threw a lot of people off. So Sonny starting this little episode off talking about, I wish I was that powerful. It's not about her being powerful. It was just about that question going viral. You know what I mean?
And who basically named her as his successor when he endorsed her.
Yes, it says a lot about her character, her values. I love a ride or die person. You know, so I'm not going to opine as to whether or not it was the right answer or the wrong answer. I will just say I was surprised at the answer because it was a question that really could have inured to her benefit. It was a question that could have been a change maker in a sense.
Yeah, and I think
it wasn't.
The people that weren't inclined to vote for her, I think, viewed it as a dismissal of the idea that there's something in the last 4 years that wasn't working.
Yes.
And that a change was needed.
But again, it was not planned.
No, of course not.
To tank her. Her run. I don't think
as much as I believe in the power of The View and the power of Sonny Hostin, I don't think
overblown.
Like I said, it was me personally. I don't think it was planned for Sonny. They just, I feel like that wasn't a question that she was supposed to ask. But then again, between Sonny, Whoopi, Joy, Anna, even they just talk, you know, and they say things and. Sonny asked that question, which me personally, I wanted to hear the answer. But then again, didn't get an answer. And that was one of the biggest reasons on why, you know, she lost by that bad.
I don't think it changed the direction of the election at all.
Change the direction.
No.
Thank you, James Carville, for thinking that I'm such a political savant that I'm able to do something like that. But I can tell you that was not my intention. No. At all. And again, it was really a layup. And other journalists asked her that question afterwards, and she didn't really change her answer in a sense.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I seen clips of that. Yes, she did, y'all.
Later in the episode, I remember she came back and said that she would have a Republican on the cabinet.
Yes.
Y'all see why she's doing that? Because her team gave her that. Her team, before that, her team didn't give her, you know, that answer. That question wasn't, you know, and it, as bad as it is, that should be something that right off the bat you should know. You know what I mean? But Kamala being Kamala, her team, The View, Purdue, you know, they didn't discuss that question. That question got asked, and then that's what happened. So they talking about later in the episode, oh, yeah, she said this and she said, of course she did. Her team let her know.
Is a difference, but I think it's not the type of difference that they were looking for, the people that wanted a change in the White House. No,
she really, I think, could have answered it in a much more robust way, and touting the great achievements of this presidency.
Right.
That's what I was expecting.
It was a trickier question when you're trying to be loyal and you are also speaking about your own record in that moment. So it's trickier than it seems on the surface, but she should have been ready for it.
And it is trickier. I think that point is really important because she said, I've been in the room for all the big decisions. And she agreed
Which I respect, by the way, sitting there and taking responsibility for the good and the bad. And I've been.
She's taking responsibility because she got called out on it. And there because Biden came out and said those things. And there were, it was evidence out there, you know, about her doing that. That's why she came out and do that. And that's what I hate about this show is that, you know, they try to make it seem like that. I'm trying to say it in a better way. I gotta watch myself, but they try to make everything seem to be out as great. You know, me personally, it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. Kamala knew what it was. Just like Sonny Hostin and all of them. And that's why she said, you know, she was in the room with it because before that, everybody had this argument that Kamala, she isn't in charge. She can't do this. She can't do that. But just like Biden said, she was making decisions too. Then, you know, stuff was out there. Then she wanted to say it. But before, it was denying and everybody, let's take up for Kamala because that's bogus to me, bro.
And I get that. Yeah.
So I thought it was probably more nuanced than people are taking it. You know.
Well, it became a political ad in minutes, as many projected it would.
It did.
Yeah.
And I knew that when I got her answer, and that's why I followed up. Mm-hmm. But it didn't help.
Absolutely. Well, listen, you asked the questions that needed to be asked. All right. So speaking of questions,
that's what we do, folks. We ask the hard questions.
It is. We talked about Congresswoman AOC.
Yes.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes.
Asking supporters about why they voted the way they did, and especially those that voted split tickets. It seemed like those who voted for Trump have voted for other Democrats. You have felt pretty strongly in the last week.
I still feel this way.
That Democrats aren't the ones that need to be looking at self-reflection.
I still feel this way.
I know you do. And what's your message to Democrats on where they go from here?
Listen, I think that after 2 years of a Trump presidency and a Trump administration, I think during the midterms, there will be a referendum on the fact that he is likely to tear apart families. These crazy tariffs are going to inure to the benefit of no one, especially the working class and the middle class. I think once the economy starts tanking, and it may not happen in 2 years, but it certainly will happen in 3 years, according to economists, I think people will regret their vote for him. And they'll realize the error of their ways, and they'll course correct.
Listen, y'all, I'm going to stop the video right there. My thing is, bro, is the simple fact she is such a negative person that she wishes nothing but bad on people who supported Trump, voted for Trump, and Trump himself, his administration. They want nothing but the worst. You know, she literally said he will tear up families. Bro, the past 4 years have been horrible. And I'm not pointing the finger at nothing, but just look at that. Like it, one thing about it, bro, is that ever since I seen the whole the truth about the Democratic Party and seeing different things about that, I started to notice a lot of things and notice how people, how people are, what they're about, and just, I don't know, like it just, I feel like after watching that video, seeing different things on just how people do, I guess, in the last, between this video and the last video I did today, it just goes to show y'all, bro, of how in denial and how, like, brainwashed people can be. I don't know. It's literally, it's just throwing me off, bro. This stuff literally throws me off on, like, the way that Sunny acts, the way that she, she puts out, the way that this show, puts out fake news and lies. I don't understand it. Y'all let me know y'all comments and thoughts down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.